It's the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. Welcome to Legion Collegiate Academy here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, on the campus of the Legion Collegiate Lancers. As today we have our matchup between the visiting Hickory Hoyas and the home-standing PrimeTime Players in their first home matchup of the season. Craig Green and my tag team partner, Petey Doris, here this afternoon in beautiful Rock Hill, South Carolina. And Petey, we've got a matchup of two teams that aren't strangers to each other, a Southwest Division matchup between two teams that have a hot start to the season.
Yeah, you said it right there, Craig, as both teams are 2-0. And somebody's going to have to face the loss today. Who will it be? Will it be the PrimeTime Players with 3 players in the top 10 in the East Coast Basketball League in the scoring column?
That's right. You have 3 of the players, 3 of the peers in the top 10 of the ECBL points per game right now. We're looking at the leading scorer in the league, of course. We're looking at Cornelius Reynolds, who leads the league with 42 points a game. Isaiah Curitin right behind him. He averages 33 points a game. And then, of course, Chris Moore, the long-standing PrimeTime player, 29.5 points a game. But these two teams, again, we talked about how well they know each other, Petey. Last season, they split the season series. Both teams held it down on the home court. 2 close games last year. And, again, this is their first contest of 2025. Looking forward to a really good game this afternoon. What are some of the things that you think can carry over from last year to this year?
Is just a discipline and a depth. You know, discipline of the Hoyas will prevail today, you know, if they can get past. I mean, it's with the PrimeTime Players. I mean, Chris Moore has been in the league for years, and everybody knows the type of basketball he plays. He loves to come down and pull up a Steph Curry from inside half court. It doesn't have to be even their side of the court. I mean, he's going to pull up. He's going to get hot. Necessarily doesn't have to get hot in the first half, because he'll get hot in the second half either way.
And Chris Moore does average 48% from three-point range. He is a marksman, a guy who is used to taking and making his shots out there on the field. But again, we talked about these two teams knowing each other very well. Returning players on each side, they have at least 6 returning players. The Hoyas returning 6 players. The Primetime players returning 7 players. One of those players for PTP today, Anthony Johnson, out with a knee injury. He's a two-sport athlete, also currently trying out for the UFL and injured his knee, getting ready for UFL action. So again, the Primetime players will be without Anthony Johnson this afternoon. But we've got just about 6 minutes until we hit the tip off here, PD. And again, we talked about the returning players for each side. Looking at guys like Savion Falls, Jihad Wright, who are coming back for the Hoyas. 2 experienced players in this league. They know what to do when they see Chris Thomas and the Primetime players on the opposite side of the floor.
Yes, with that said, they definitely have to watch Cornelius Reynolds because the second game last year, Cornelius Reynolds was not here for the Primetime players in that matchup against the Hoyas. But there's some hardware getting handed out right prior to game. Chris Moore will get handed a plaque with 1,000 rebound club. Also, he'll get presented a 4,000 point club. And then along with him, Isaiah Carrington, who will be a few minutes late, will be the second team all-league in the 4th all-star selection. Then following that also, Chris Moore will be 13th straight first team all-league. That tells you right there, the man, 13 years, first team all-league.
2 core players for Chris Thomas's team. Again, Chris Moore and Isaiah Carrington. Carrington 3rd in the league in scoring right now, and averaging 33 points, more than 50, averaging 15 rebounds a game. I mean, what a great start to the season for Isaiah Carrington. And again, we talked about these 2 teams getting off to a hot start themselves. And today being the first game at home for the Primetime players, they got started on the road, PD, and they did a good job on the road. They've been road warriors this season. Started off in Goldsboro, taking on the expansion Goldsboro Wings and coming away with the victory there. But then also coming right back down here to Greenville and taking on the Web Dogs and getting a victory against Let It Fly as well.
You look at a defense, take a look at the scores in those 2 games right there. Goldsboro, they gave up 105 points. Against Let It Fly Web Dogs, they gave up 117. So this game can go well into the hundreds. Defense has to be a key for the Hoyas if they plan on upsetting the Primetime players in their home opener tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, the first 2 games, PTP scored, they won 138-105. And then the second game just a week ago against the Web Dogs in Greenville, 186 points on the road against the Web Dogs. I mean, they're averaging well over 150 points a game right now. And just, that's just mind-boggling in professional basketball to see a team scoring at that kind of clip. So defense is going to be at a premium for the Hoyas. I do agree with you, Petey. Now, when it comes to the Primetime players, what are some of the keys for them to come away with a victory today? So for the PTPers, I guess for them, got to just keep doing what you're doing. I think the key for them is to just continue to score at the high clip that they have. They don't have the exact amount of numbers. They don't have the bodies to throw at the Hoyas today like the Hoyas can do to them. So of course, Jeff Johnson can rotate his guys as needed. And you did mention Isaiah Carrington's going to be running a little bit behind today, so late arriving players as well. So let's see if that affects the chemistry for the Primetime players.
I'm sure it's going to affect the chemistry because he was just scratched from the starting lineups, and now he was forced, and Pratt will start for Isaiah Carrington to start the game. But the Hoyas, they travel an hour and a half, Craig, with 10 players dressed out here shooting 15 minutes, 20 minutes prior to the game. That says something with their coach, Jeff Johnson, getting these players. They know what this game means. They can start the season off 3-0, or they can start it off 2-1. 3-0 sounds better than 2-1 right now to me.
Of course, and there's no ties in the East Coast Basketball League. You can't take the win and split it in half. So Again, someone is going to go home with a crooked number in that L column this afternoon, but who's it going to be? The primetime players in their first home game of the season, or will it be the Hickory Hoyas? We'll find out here in about 90 seconds as to what's going to go down, but we're still waiting for our clock to run down. But again, Petey, let's take a look at some of the scores from out of town today. Take a look at our scoreboard here, games that are getting ready to get started. We do have one game that's underway. We'll wait and get some score lines for you on that one. In Winston-Salem, the Raiders are down here visiting to take on the Winston-Salem Wolves. Also in Fayetteville, the Panthers hosting the defending ECBL champions, the DC Heat. Kingdom Life is hosting the expansion Goldsboro Wings. And then also at 5 o'clock as well in Gastonia, or in Charlotte actually, at Mountain Island Fitness, the Web Dogs are coming up to visit the Gastonia Snipers.
A lot of games here today, all of them just underway here. We got 5 games on tap for you. Then tomorrow we'll have Philly Raiders. They'll travel to Petersburg. They'll go from Philly to Winston-Salem, back to Petersburg on the way home. Try to pick up 2 wins.
Some frequent flyer miles being picked up by a lot of these teams here. We have our pregame ceremony as Isaiah Curitin being presented with his plaque. And now Chris Thomas is breaking out the second award to be presented. And Chris Moore being presented with a plaque as well for his achievements. 1,000 rebounds.
4,000 point.
4,000 points.
Hey, you got 13 years to get 4,000. If you just look at the NBA players like LeBron and him, just hit 50K. And then he don't have his, I mean, he's got 5 more years than Chris Moore. But you can see what Chris Moore do. You can just imagine what the pros do.
Tell you what, when Chris Moore gets hot, it feels like he's hitting 50,000 three-pointers in one game. He can fill it up at a high volume.
He's presented a 1,000 rebound plaque right now from TMO Chris Thomas.
And
So he hit his points right there against Carolina Thunder. You know, that's a team not easy to hit in any caliber of points, Craig.
Absolutely not. Sebastian Page knows how to take on the primetime players. Remember, back in the 2023 playoffs, it was Sebastian Page's Carolina Thunder who walked into this gym and defeated the primetime players en route to winning the ECBL championship.
We're at the national anthem right now.
All right, our starting lineups are about to be announced for both teams. We will start here with the primetime players. They are starting Jock Chambers. Their starting lineup, Jock Chambers, 6'5" forward out of Maysville out of Lenore Rhine. Cressworthy, 6'2" guard out of Fayetteville State. Nylas Hodge, 6'4" forward out of Johnson C. Smith. Jihad Wright, 6'4" forward out of UNC Pembroke, and also Savion Falls, a 6'6" forward out of Southwest Community College. Starting lineups for the primetime players being announced right now. Odell Turner, 6'7" out of Wingate. Isaiah Curitan will start today, 6'6" forward out of Wingate. Cornelius Reynolds leading the league in scoring, 6'6" forward out of Claflin. Kerrigan Farley, the Hickory product, 6'2" guard out of Wingate. And Chris Moore, Mr. 4000, 6'2" guard out of Charleston Southern.
Nice lineup there for both teams. We'll see how the primetime players can get started here at home in their season opener.
And we are just about set for tip-off. Hoyas greeting the officials. Yep, Jihad Wright making sure we pronounce his name correctly.
Jihad Wright wearing number 8 out there tonight. Love the unis out there, I tell you.
Absolutely, great matchup here. The primetime players with a blackout here at home today, wearing black. Hoyas in their gold uniforms.
Primetime players in their black.
Chambers and Turner in the center. The ball is tipped out of bounds. We are ready for action in Rock Hill. And looks like it's going to belong to Primetime off the tip. And Moore will inbound for the primetime players. And here we go.
Great defense so far by the Hoyas.
And there's Curitan, his shot, he misses. And coming down is Jihad Wright.
Jihad Wright knew his name was going to be called a few times tonight.
Worthy thought better of it. In the corner, a three-pointer is knocked down by Jock Chambers. And 3-0 for the Hoyas to get us started here. And a turnover just like that. And here come the Hickory Hoyas. Ball worked around the perimeter. Worthy inside. The scoop up and under. Savion Falls gets it to fall.
Just like that, the Hoyas up 5-0.
Now inside Curitan, the fadeaway rainbow shot. Isaiah Curitan on the board. First 2 points for Isaiah Curitan. And PTP fighting back here. Just about a minute into this ball game. Jock Chambers, he's got Falls. Now a little pass inside, that shot blocked.
Great defense by the PTP players.
Yeah, Hodges went up, his shot was blocked, but the possession will stay here with Hickory. 5 on the shot clock, a long three by Chambers, he knocks it down under the pressure of Curitan.
8-2. Just like that, we'll see how the primetime players adapt to trailing by 6.
That ball stolen, here comes Nylas Hodges. Hodges looking for someone to go, he was looking for Wright inside, but the ball was kicked. Still 20 on the shot clock for the Hoyas. And looks like it will be Savion Falls who will inbound. Again, 20 on the shot clock, 10:18 on the game clock for the Hoyas. And there's Worthy. Loses it off the foot. Here comes DeAndre Pratt. Moore stops, pops, drops. Chris Moore is on the board.
That's the first bucket tonight for Chris Moore. They still trail 4 by 4 against the Hoyas.
Wide open. Jacques Chambers, no. Rebound, Cureton.
Cureton looks up to Moore.
Moore trying to dribble, penetrate around the baseline, kicks it out. Three-pointer by Pratt, no. Offensive board stays right here. Odell Turner puts it up and gets it to go. Offensive board, Odell Turner. And now it's just a 2-point lead for the Hoyas, 8-6.
Hoyas jump out 8-2 early in this contest. The lead's cut just down to 1 possession. They nearly turn it over, but it stays right with the Hoyas.
Pass deflected off of one of the primetime players. We have 10 on the shot clock, 9:16 on the game clock. Looks like they are discussing the call here. Referees are getting together trying to figure out what is what, and it will actually be a turnover. It will belong to PTP. Long pass up court. Hoyas were sleeping as Odell Turner caught it in the paint. Down in the low block, Odell Turner ties it up.
First tie tonight comes at a 9:03 mark in the first.
And Odell Turner, 4 points. That shot no good. Rebound down to Reynolds. Reynolds, the leading scorer in the ECBL. Looking to get to some work here. Nice pass down low to Pratt, but Pratt couldn't handle it. It's a turnover.
The Hoyas defense is forcing the turnover on the primetime players as they come down the court with 8:43 left.
Cressworthy gets a nice screen from Chambers. Could be a little pick and pop action inside. Finds his man. Savion falls. Can't get it to fall. And now here come PTP once again.
Interested to see.
Nice move down low. And a foul.
It's interesting to see how the Hoyas went inside on that 2-3 defense.
Couldn't get clarification on who the foul was on, but regardless, at the line is Isaiah Cureton, and Cureton misses the first.
Cureton 0 for 1 and makes the second. They get their first lead tonight. The Hoyas feeling like, knowing what it's feeling like to trail. Long 3, and it's off the front of the iron, and Hoyas get the offensive board.
Little fadeaway, got it this time by Cressworthy. He's on the board and gives the lead right back to the Hickory Hoyas, 10-9.
You see how fast the primetime players are getting up the court on the Hoyas, not letting them sit up in defense.
And Cornelius Reynolds, that left-handed jump shot. Looks like a loose ball foul as Cureton was trying to grab the board. And they're going to give that foul to Jahad Wright. That'll be his first. Substitutions now coming in the game. Here comes Kaheem Brown.
Kaheem Brown checks in once for the Hoyas. Primetime players trying to get an offensive spark, and there it was.
Long two-pointer. This time it was Cornelius Reynolds getting his name in the score column. 7.5 to go in this first quarter. No good on the three-pointer by Worthy. Cureton gives it up here to Pratt. Nice ball movement by the primetime players. More distributing right now. Inside, fade away. Too strong.
Tell you, the Hoyas down low are just jumping up and stealing any boards they can on the offensive side and the defensive side. Nice take to the cup, and We have a foul, and first fouls for the primetime players going to go to Cornelius Reynolds from Clafton College.
And strong take that time to the hole by Nylas Hodges, who was knocked to the floor. Is not afraid to challenge down low. Hodges 6'4" out of Johnson City, or excuse me, Johnson C. Smith.
Barely touches the iron on that free throw.
Folks still making their way into the gym for this game. Both free throws missed by Hodges. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. That pass
turnover.
intercepted. Here comes Hodges, 1-on-2. Not the smartest idea, but he's going to draw a foul. This time, it's Pratt who draws the unlucky number.
6:45 left in the first. 11-10. Primetime players with the biggest lead tonight. Primetime players getting started. They're down 8-2, and they tracked it all the way back and took a lead. We're tied at 11.
And after missing the first two free throws the last time around, Hodges knocks down one, and substitutions coming into the game. Mark St. Fort will enter.
One thing with the Hoyas, they got plenty of depth on the bench. Primetime players working inside, and nice kiss off the window for a good bucket, and back to a 1-point lead.
And there was DeAndre Pratt getting on the board. 6.5 to go in this first quarter. Hoyas taking their time here.
With 10 on the shot clock, they need to get something moving here.
5 and 4, 3 and 2. Worthy, a long two-pointer. Back rim, no good. Chris Moore with the rebound. I believe that's rebound 1001. There's a three-pointer from the corner that time. It is Isaiah Curitan, knocks down the triple. Actually, looks like a long two, excuse me. It is a triple. Actually, correction, it is a long two. Sorry about that. That shot missed. A long three, tapped out of bounds by Cornelius Reynolds. And should be long to the Hoyas. But we do have a timeout called right now. We will take it with them. 5:45 to go in this first quarter.
Easy, boss. It's your first round in a year.
I'm clearing too early. I'm clearing too late. My God, my swing feels like an unfolding lawn chair.
Let's go to Okanichi Golf Course in Hillsboro. They have a kind and courteous staff. Our friends from Hillsboro, Durham, and Mebane play there. And they have that great gift shop where you can buy those pink balls you like to play with. You can get your head right.
My head's never gotten in the way before.
Yeah, no kidding.
Go to Okanichi Golf Course in Hillsboro, located on Lawrence Road in Hillsboro. Call 919-732-3435.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text.
All right, we're back here in Rock Hill at Legion Collegiate Academy. It's going to be Hoyas ball, 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. They trail by 3, 15-12. Craig Green and Petey Doris here live and direct. It's East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week.
Hoyas down by 3. See if they'll take the 3 or they'll go do some fancy basketball inside. And it tells you right there they went inside for that one. Much higher percentage shot inside and then outside. A turnover.
Primetime, another empty possession after Kaheem Brown knocks down the mid-range shot.
Kerrigan Farley shows up, and now he's in the game for the primetime players.
St. Fort way outside.
Wow.
Thought about taking the 3. Thought that was a travel. And now
This is
Brown
big
on the
steps.
rimmer. Brown, the floater, no. Rebound, Curitan. Hoyas got back defensively. Farley into the game. Little two-man action with Chris Moore. Mid-range, still change for Chris Moore. It's a three-point lead for the primetime players, as that three-pointer is no good. The ball tapped around, and rebound comes down to Odell Turner. That shot off the glass. Hoyas luckily did not have a backcourt violation there.
Hoyas.
And that little floater, little backdoor pass there to St. Fort. St. Fort converts. And then back the other way, Cornelius Reynolds jams it home.
First quarter back and forth basketball here. Hoyas and the primetime players. Hoyas driving, nice baseline pull up.
Caleb Hewitt got it to go. And Hewitt into the game. He's one of the first Hoyas on the floor to take shots.
That was a deep two for the primetime players. 21-18, 3-point advantage, primetime players.
Caleb Hewitt looking to dribble penetrate. A three ball given up, and this one is no good. Farley from Hickory gets the rebound, and now they're looking to move in transition as Reynolds is tripped up on his way to the bucket. And it should be two more free throws coming for primetime. They're going to give the foul to Chambers.
3:33 left. Chambers picking up his first. Send Cornelius Reynolds to the line to shoot two for the primetime players, getting their biggest lead. He can make both of these, Craig. That'd be the biggest lead so far for the primetime players. First quarter action from Legion Collegiate Academy. And first free throw is missed.
Reynolds is a 75% free throw shooter. So uncharacteristic of him to miss. Got substitutions coming into the game.
Missing both opportunities for the primetime players. The Hoyas with an opportunity to tie this game up on this possession. That's not what they did on that three.
Nope, that one was rushed by Chambers. Curitan gets the pass from Turner inside. He gets the roll to go. The hometown bounce for Odell Turner.
Caleb Hewitt looking to the official like, why did you call the foul on me? I was going straight up. With 3:11 left, 23-18. 3-point play coming up for Odell Turner. That's an old-fashioned and one. Converted on the 3-point play. Extends the lead to 6. Biggest lead tonight.
Primetime's going to want to stop the bleeding here, get a bucket. Charles Thomas trying to find position. He's into the game now, working down low against Farley. 8 on the shot clock. Kaheem Brown, we got a whistle.
And a 3-second call. Asking him, can he get a warning?
We do have a defensive 3 seconds, and Jacques Chambers will do the honors.
Makes the free throw and cuts the deficit to 5.
.20 on the shot clock for the Hoyas. And stoppage of play. Not sure if that was an inadvertent horn. All right, Thomas to inbound. 2:51 to go in this first quarter. Hewitt looking inside to Kaheem Brown. Brown looking to go to work. And taken down. Waiting to see who the foul is going to be on. They're discussing it.
Isaiah Curitan. Oh.
Looks like they called it on Farley, I believe.
Farley, yeah.
Hoyas looking to work the ball inside here. They don't want to stay on the perimeter. 8 on the shot clock. Hewitt's got to hurry. Hewitt a long 2, air ball. Cleaning up down low was Kaheem Brown, but his shot was blocked. St. Fort steals it away and puts it back home. 24-21.
Farley didn't pick up the rebound as it come. He's trying to save it from going out of bounds. Farley driving, switching hands, and 3-point lead.
Foul's going to go against Hewitt. That's 2 on Hewitt. More free throws coming for PTP.
Here again, Farley from Wingate misses the first.
And again, a Hickory native playing against his hometown team today. You know, he's going to have some support here in the building and watching the game, being 90 minutes away from home. As Farley makes the second free throw, 25-21. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Hoyas looking for something inside, and nice hands by Odell Turner with the steal.
Now Farley standing out at the new three-point line for ECBL. They've moved it back a little bit. Good pass inside. Now Curitan launching a 3, no.
Nice defense by the Hoyas. Chambers defending the long 2.
St. Fort looking to work inside here. He's got a mismatch against Farley, but then you got the help defender coming over, Hanif Britt in the game. Off the glass and good. Got it to go. Did Kaheem Brown score the bucket?
One possession game as the Hoyas looking to get within 1 point with a made free throw by Kaheem Brown.
And Brown now up to 4 points, looking for his 5th after this free throw.
Rolls off the rim, and there to clean was Britt for the primetime players.
Chris Moore, just 2 players on the bench today. Excuse me, Chris Thomas. Chris Moore, 3-ball, cha-ching. You know he's going to knock one down. It took him a little while to do it, but he got one in. Chris Moore from 3-point range. It's a 5-point lead with a minute to go in this first quarter.
Nice pass, and he is fouled, and that will send Charles Thomas to the line with just 59 ticks left in the first quarter. Leading towards Craig Green here at Legion Collegiate Academy. 5-point lead, primetime players. Biggest lead so far in the first half, 6. Right now they lead by 5 over the Hoyas, 28-23. Charles Thomas stands in, puts up the first one, it's nothing but nylon.
That's going to bring it back to a 4-point game. Thomas makes it a 3-point game.
I tell you, that was the first player to knock down both of his free throws in this game tonight.
Curitan to the bucket, gets the roll. Isaiah Curitan not going to let the Hoyas enjoy that basket as Curitan gets up there and puts another one in. He's up to 4. St. Fort looking for some help. 10 on the shot clock. Kaheem Brown about 30 feet away from the basket. He's got Pratt on him, 5 and 4. Looking for the pass inside, stolen this time by Britt. Moore looking for Farley in the corner, and a push from behind. Foul will be called. Stay right here. That's what our official said. And the push from behind, I believe it is on Thomas.
23 seconds left in the first quarter.
The Hoyas have been over the limit for quite some time now, so to the free throw line will go Odell Turner, and he knocks down the first. No shot clock coming back the other way here for the Hoyas. 23.8 on the clock, so they should be able to use all of the time if they'd like to.
A call for one shot, down by 7. It's not a 7-pointer out there, but I was talking with someone the other day with the way Steph Curry's shooting, they'll say eventually there'll be a 4-pointer out there.
Hewitt trying to lull them to sleep. 5 and 4. In comes Chambers. No good. 2-1, and that will end.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes.
But PrimeTime again, even with the numbers not in their favor in terms of personnel, the scoreboard is their friend right now as they lead 52-45 with 4:13 to go, and it will be PrimeTime's basketball under the Hoyas basket.
PrimeTime players only with 7 players tonight. They turn it over on inbound as the ball went right through Odell Turner's hands.
Ooh,
he let a nice watch by the Hoyas. They didn't touch it on the rim, and Cornelius Reynolds answers back at the other side.
Again, PrimeTime has been really good about getting those buckets right back. That shot won't fall for this time for Falls. And then Chris Moore for 3. You know it. Chris Moore knocks it down 57-47, 3.5 to go until halftime. And Chris Moore, his second three-pointer of this first half. He's now up to 10 points himself.
Tell you, the Hoyas answers back, no, and it's an air ball.
I think that one might have hit the top of the backboard. Moore, looking along the baseline, gets cut off. Farley thought better of a perimeter shot. And then the bounce off the rim, no good, into the hands now of Odell Turner. Turner's going to pull a 3 and knock it down. Odell Turner, the big man.
He took a second chance look and said, you're going to give me it wide open. I'm going to take it.
And they didn't respect the big man's range, but they may have to do that now. We're under 3 minutes to go. Hodges moves to his left. Off the glass. Nice move. He takes Turner to the bucket.
PrimeTime players pushing the ball up the court, not waiting on any time, and nearly a turnover by Pratt as this is 1-on-4, and he pulls it out to Chris.
Good hands by Falls to deflect the pass. In the corner, Pratt, no. Offensive board, PTP gets another opportunity. Here's Farley out there against Falls. Farley to the cup, gets blocked. Second block this time from behind, but they're going to call a foul this time on Falls. Falls making things tough on the PrimeTime players in this last possession.
As Farley, if he wouldn't have switched hands, he switched from left to right. When he went up right side, he was on the side of the defender, and the defender just pinned it against the backboard. But Cornelius Reynolds to the line, who leads the PrimeTime players, averaging 43 points per game.
Leads the entire ECBL right now, but misses his third free throw of the game.
11-point advantage, PrimeTime players. 2:14 left. Frustration sets in on Cornelius Reynolds. He makes one of two.
Hoyas looking for something easy, and they're going to find it this time. Kaheem Brown gets to the bucket. Nice pass that time by Caleb Hewitt. It's a 10-point game.
Chris Moore says, you give it to me, I'll shoot it. But Jurgen Farley holds it with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Turner stripped.
Moore didn't get a good release on that one. Offensive board stripped down. Reynolds had it taken away. Oh, how was that? Almost a double dribble. Smartly played that time by Hodges. Recognizes it, finds Savion Falls, and Falls finishes. It's an 8-point game with a minute and a half to go. Moore met by a couple of Hoyas, dancing and prancing, and he finds his man down low, blocked, but a foul on St. Fort. And that will send Cornelius Reynolds back to the line for 2.
But in a minute and 22 left, 8-point game. Hoyas with a run right here. Hoyas on a 5-0 run. Coming out of the timeout. They're trailing 60-47. Cornelius Reynolds back to the line for his 5th and 6th free throw tonight.
Reynolds not having his best time from the free throw stripe so far. Again, he shoots 75% on the season. Curitan will come in and Pratt will take a seat. That
one of 2.
We are at 70 seconds left. 80 seconds left, that is. There's Hewitt. Hewitt didn't get it to fall. Defensive rebound by Odell Turner. Turner can't get it to fall. Rebound St. Fort. Here come the Hoyas. Under a minute to go. Hewitt in the corner for 3, in and out. PrimeTime does not have the numbers here, but Chris Moore will pull up and knock down another triple.
It's a third 3 of the first half for Chris Moore. 65-53, 12-point lead. Well, the Hoyas have an answer.
Hoyas can go 2 for 1 if they hurry up here. Hewitt, ball movement. Looks like St. Fort out there. He'll try a 3. That hits nothing but the side of the backboard. Good pass inside, and a layup by Reynolds. Give the assist to Isaiah Curitan. 15 seconds to go in this first half. No shot clock. Hewitt against Moore. Stuck 5-4-3. Passed inside to St. Fort. St. Fort fouled with 0.9. And that foul will go against Curitan. So with less than a second to go, Mark St. Fort will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Mark St. Fort from Wachalua, Florida, went to Savannah State. This is the first free throw.
67-53. Just 0.9 on the clock. Makes the second. And the shot's blocked. And there was no whistle, no foul, no harm. 67-54 at halftime. PrimeTime players lead going into the second half, up by 7. Doors Craig Green will bring you coverage of second half and come right back here with stats, facts, and figures and scores around the league. Welcome back. 67, 54. The primetime players lead the Hickory Hoyas at half. We got a score update. Winston-Salem Wolves lead the Philly Raiders 91-77 in the third quarter. Craig, not a great first half for Coach Jeff Johnson of the Hoyas, but primetime players with just 7 players put up 67 points, and that's why you could tell they average about 140 a game.
I just was talking, an unofficial halftime interview with Jacques Chambers of the Hoyas, and he said to me, he thinks they're probably shooting somewhere around 60 or 70%, that being the primetime players. I said, just got to stop the ball, my friend. He said, you're right. So there's your key to the second half for the Hoyas. Stop the ball. Take advantage of the turnovers that the primetime players are putting in your hands. They're giving you extra possessions, but they're not capitalizing on it. And the one thing they did do well, Petey, in the first half was when they did have second chances, they were actually able to cash those in.
Yeah, and, a couple second chance points, for the primetime players. But in the first quarter, the Hoyas getting plenty of opportunities with extra buckets.
They did, and primetime is also moving the ball well. They're rebounding well. I mean, they're a well-oiled machine. I mean, Chris Thomas is no stranger to operating, game day operations and how to manage this roster and how to get the best out of his players. So that's what we're looking for here in this beginning of this third quarter.
Third quarter just about to get started here. The horn just sounded, 7-point lead. Hoyas trail at halftime over the primetime players. The primetime players I talked with Cornelius Reynolds, and he said, if I just make my first free throw, the poor guy can't make his first, but he can make the second, and the primetime players lead by 7 in the third quarter. Looking to get started as the Hoyas come to the court, and the primetime players to the court, and the Hoyas will have the ball. First stab in offense.
And third quarter underway. Here comes Hodges. Chambers out there. Good ball movement in the corner. Here's Cressworthy. Baseline cut off. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to hurry up. He doesn't recognize it. And a blocking foul. He's bailed out by a foul by Odell Turner. And it will be a side out here. No, not in the act of shooting. So first foul called 23 seconds into this third quarter. Falls thought about the three. Chambers will take it. Too strong. Here comes Mr. 4000, Chris Moore. Curitan, ball faking, can't make it. Chambers with the rebound.
Leaves it right on the rim for the defender. Sloppy basketball, both sides, and we have an and one. And
ball pinballed around, count it for Jihad Wright. And Isaiah Curitan has drawn the unlucky number.
First foul. (67-56) and make it 67-57, 10-point lead. Primetime players, Chris Moore on the left wing. Spins, top of the key. Nice spin by Chris Moore, but finds Turner. Turner wanted that three, but they pull it back out.
Hoyas is going to respect it now after we knocked down one in the first quarter. And there's Curitan for three. Left it a little too short, but Farley gets in there, steals it away, up to Chris Moore. What a hustle play by Kerrigan Farley.
Great vision from Kerrigan Farley.
And looks like a timeout called by Jeff Johnson. Oh, no, there's just a stoppage of play. Almost like they stopped it just to talk to each other.
10:35 left. Go inside.
Good shot that time by Jihad Wright, who knocks it down. Wright, 5 points here in the early going. That three too strong for Turner. It's a 10-point game. Hoyas trying to fight their way back. Shot blocked. Falls gets 2 stabs at it, and then Savion Falls finishes at the rim.
Got multiple opportunities.
And now another turnover by the primetime players.
69-61. 10 minutes left, third quarter. Hoyas just need an offensive spark here if they plan on getting a road win today, moving on to 3-0 in their division.
It falls wide open in the corner there. Chris Worthy to the bucket. He's fouled. You could give that foul to Reynolds. You can give it to Farley. Who's it going to be? And it looks like it will be on Farley. Unofficially, 2 fouls on Farley, and to the line, here goes Chris Worthy. Out of Fayetteville State, just graduated in 2023. This young man trying to make his hay in the pro ranks. This is the first free throw. And 0 for 2.
But an offensive board right there for the Hoyas. Get another stab at offense here as they trail by 8 against the primetime players. Chris Moore nearly strips it.
Got 10 on the shot clock. Falls, penetrating. And now Worthy comes up short. Farley leading the charge for the primetime players. Moore with a smile on his face, playing confident right now. Here comes the primetime players. No good for Curitan. Knocked to the floor, contact, no call. Worthy. Going to be a 3 from Savion Falls, and he knocks it down. Savion Falls brings us within a 5-point game now, under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Hoyas off to a nice start in this third. Moore spins. Spin cycle, no. Offensive board, Chris Moore. Finds his man Curitan, and he knocks it down.
Curitan with a mid-range jump shot off of the second chance opportunity for the primetime players.
Both teams have been doing that today, keeping those, cashing in on those second chances. Hoyas need that more in the worst way right now as Worthy gets on the board here in the second half. It is a 5-point game. Now foul on the floor here with 8:11 to go in this third quarter. Substitutions coming into the game. Here comes Caleb Hewitt.
Checks in for the Hoyas.
Actually, not yet. Looks like they were going to put Hewitt in, but Hewitt on the bench temporarily now for the Hoyas. They have Chambers, Worthy, Falls, Wright, and also Hodges. Here come the Hoyas, a turnover, but then that pass intercepted by Curitan, but then Curitan kind of trying to duck walk and keep it in bounds, but he couldn't keep his balance. So one good turnover deserves another, right back into the hands of the Hoyas. Under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter now. Long three-pointer, wide open, no good, too strong. Falls can't get it to go. Here comes Kerrigan Farley. Reynolds going baseline. Curitan in the corner, air ball. Lands into the fortuitous hands of Reynolds, but he is fouled, but no call. Worthy. Hot pass that time to Hodges.
Hodges running that baseline, hoping to get a little distance from his defender, but he pulls up for 3, and Chris Moore with the rebound. Moore goes to the leading scorer at ECBL. Cornelius Reynolds turns it over.
Another turnover, this time by the primetime players.
71-66.
Tell you what, Petey, with all these turnovers by the primetime players, they're living dangerously right now.
Just up by 5, but, we've seen primetime players play for a number of years now, and got 6 returning players. They love to give you love to get you nervous going into the fourth quarter.
They are a very resilient team. Good save by our cameraman.
71-66, 7 minutes. Primetime players on defense gives the man a wide open space on the baseline, and he doesn't get it to connect.
Chambers took the contact, thought he was fouled. Hodges gets in there, nearly steals it. Good defense by Falls. Hoyas that time really protecting the rim well. They're out there active on defense. It's going to be 12 on the shot clock for the primetime players. 6:41 on the game clock, nursing a 5-point lead. At the half, they were up by 13. And it will actually, referees will discuss it, will be a turnover again, another turnover for PTP. And here comes Hodges. Nice screen that time by Wright.
Rifles one to the corner, 3 left alone, and Odell Turner with a rebound. Primetime players, defense is getting slack here in the second half. Can fatigue be a factor? Carrollton's 3 is off the mark.
Chris Moore launches. No, that shot looked like he kind of jerked it back. 2-on-1 for the Hoyas. And Savion Falls gets the toilet flush around. It's a 3-point game. Savion Falls having a nice start to this second half. He's up to 7 points in the second half.
Nice pass down low, but they pull it back out, and baseline jumper. You can count it for the southpaw, Chris Moore.
Chris Moore, such a smart player. Saw the long range wasn't falling, decides to take it in and knock down the mid-range jump shot. It's a 5-point lead, 5.5 to go here in the third. Right, dribble penetrating. Good pass inside to Hodges. Got it to go. Bucket and the bruises, and count the foul against Reynolds.
We'll take a look at that once again.
And it is now a 3-point game with a free throw to come. But both teams are going to take it to the bench here. A quick timeout. PD, let's stay here and chop it up here for a second. This third quarter, it's been, I think, kind of it's really been advantage Hickory.
16-6 run in the third quarter. They only trail by 3. You know, going in, the latter minutes of this quarter here, we'll see if primetime players can step it up and try to close out like they did in the second quarter. Second quarter was the same way for the primetime players until they went off under 5 minutes. After that last media timeout in the second quarter, they went on a run to advance to the biggest lead tonight at halftime over the Hickory Hoyas.
And really it's been there for the Hoyas this game. I mean, they need to take, not being able to take advantage of those second opportunities, but now they're starting to. And earlier on in the first half, they weren't able to cash in on turnovers. But right now, they're finding something. They're finding their rhythm. The long-range shots aren't falling for them, but they are getting to the rim. They're starting to knock down some free throws. So it's starting to get a little troublesome over there on the bench for the primetime players. Can they rally the troops, get it together, and kind of keep the Hoyas at bay? I mean, they're holding on to a 3-point lead. A free throw still coming after this timeout. But Jeff Johnson taking a long time here. He wants to make sure that they get this right because they are on a roll right now. They have the momentum clearly.
With 5:25 left here in the third quarter, then you got a whole quarter to go with 12 minutes. We're going to see exactly if fatigue is playing a factor for the primetime players with just 7 players tonight. And Coach Jeff Johnson of the Hickory Hoyas came dressed with 10. We're sitting here prior to the game, Craig, wondering if there's even going to be a game. At 4:20, there was hardly any players in the gymnasium.
It's totally a different feel here in the East Coast Basketball League. A lot of the players and the teams have their own way of doing things, and it's working for them. As that free throw, no good by Hodges.
They travel separately, so they really don't show up as a team. But managed to get it done on the court, and nothing but yellow jerseys off the missed shot for the primetime players. Opportunity to tie it with a 3 or an old-fashioned and 1, and he stripped Moore ahead to Reynolds, and Reynolds with a reverse layup.
Nice take by Cornelius Reynolds, and now it is a 5-point game. Miss the free throw, come down, miss a layup, and then you end up giving up 2 points. Worthy now looking inside here against Pratt. Little fadeaway jumper, and tell you what, Cressworthy has not been able to find the stroke today.
If Cressworthy could have found a stroke right there is because his defender, Pratt, gave him plenty of room on the shot. Pratt driving on the offensive side, puts up enough English on the ball, but it doesn't fall. Here come the Hoyas sprinting in the front court, and a turnover.
Thought that ball might have been deflected, but it was not. Here comes Caleb Hewitt, and also Kaheem Brown into the game. Wright and Worthy will take a seat. Under just over 4 minutes to go in this third quarter, a 5-point game. I want to thank all of you here for joining us this afternoon. It's the East Coast Basketball League Game of the Week. The primetime players in black, the Hickory Hoyas in yellow.
Reynolds goes inside, and they pull it back out with 12 on a shot clock. Look at Moore driving. Couldn't get the bucket to fall, but he'll head to the line to shoot 2 as the foul's going to be on Caleb Hewitt.
3 for Hewitt. Comes in the game, immediately draws a foul. And Chris Moore going to the line. Chris Moore had 13 points in the first half. It's up to 17 right now and make it 18. You know he's not going to miss from the free throw line.
I love watching that guy play some basketball. He's a very talented point guard. Knows the game very well. And everybody knows he knows that. So, you know, it's an advantage for the primetime players with Chris Moore out there. You know he's not going to make many mistakes.
It's a very cerebral player. High basketball IQ.
Only if he was still 18.
There's a 3 ball. Needed that in the worst way. Caleb Hewitt comes in and knocks down the 3. 77-73, a 4-point game.
Hewitt picked out a foul on Chris Moore, then come down and answers back with a 3.
2 shots coming up here for Reynolds.
Quarter number 3, 3:34 left. 4-point game, 77-73. Cornelius Reynolds hasn't had a good point at the first free throw, but he makes the first that time.
Reynolds up to 19 on the game. Here comes Mark St. Fort to replace Savion Falls.
Making both free throws, 79-73.
20 points now for Cornelius Reynolds. Brown finds his man in the wing, offensive board for the Hoyas. Hewitt looking for another attempt. He's going to go baseline, scoop it up, and drop it down. Caleb Hewitt
dropping it like the chicken minis.
Sounds good right about now. It's a 4-point game, 3 minutes to go. Wide open, Cureton, air ball. And Reynolds tried to save it to Cureton, but another turnover for the primetime players. A 4-point lead. Hewitt thought about setting for another 3. Hewitt settles for the mid-range jumper, and he comes in and he's hot. It's a 2-point game. Caleb Hewitt, 7 points here in the third quarter, 9 for the game. Blocking foul called, this time against Brown.
23-12 advantage here in the third quarter for the Hickory Hoyas.
Britt coming into the game, and he will let Cureton catch a blow. 2.5 to go, 10 on the shot clock, a 2-point lead for the primetime players.
Pratt sets a screen, but Moore doesn't go the direction of the screen.
5-4-3, a long, Pratt had it deflected, and the Hoyas, they're going to, two officials going to talk about it here. The Hoyas thought that was their ball.
We're going to show a replay here. It goes right off of the leg. You saw it right there on the instant replay.
We can hear Hodges apologizing to officials. I'm so sorry. He's trying to make amends and keep his name out of the technical foul book. Fresh shot clock for the Hoyas with a chance to tie or take the lead here with 2:24 to go in the third quarter. Not been the best 10 minutes for the primetime players that they've had all season. St. Fort, Brown. What can Brown do for you? Inside, got it. Brown can tie the game is what he could do.
79 apiece. Primetime players could be in trouble here. Coach Chris Thomas on the sideline with his left hand on his hip. Reynolds, no.
St. Fort with a tap to himself. Good box out that time against Britt. Here come the Hickory Hoyas. Fleet of foot. And there's a scoop up. Caleb Hewitt
and they got
puts
their
it
first
in.
lead.
Timeout. That's right, a timeout call by the primetime players. Caleb Hewitt coming into the game, sparking this comeback, and now it's an 81-79 lead for the Hickory Hoyas. What a second half so far for Hickory as they have come out here in this third quarter, again, down by 13 points, and now a 15-point swing, and they own a 2-point lead.
Yeah, halftime is 67-54. Right now it's 81-79. Hoyas on the other side of the ball against the primetime players with just 1:41 left in the third, as going to the locker room for the primetime players, grabbing his left leg, Kerrigan Farley out of Wingate, the 6'2" guard. Right now, the Hoyas need to continue to play the same basketball they've played here in this quarter. They don't want to get out of the way they're playing. They plan on getting upset tonight.
Primetime trailing for the first time in this game. The momentum clearly on the side of the team in yellow from the 2-5-2. Or from the 704, or from the 8-2-8, that is. Sorry, folks. Rebound that time, the St. Fort. Another empty possession for the primetime players. Is that deflected off of a Hoya, and it will be a turnover for Hickory. 1:22 to go in the third quarter, 81-79 to the Hickory Hoyas. Looking to pull somewhat of an upset, you got to say. I mean, the primetime players, one of the more decorated teams in this league. Moore
with
the
a
runner.
Teardrop. I love it. Watching Moore penetrate off of the assist for Reynolds.
And that time coming right back is Hodges, and Hodges gives the lead right back to the Hoyas. Under a minute to go, Chris Moore finds his man in the corner. Good ball movement. Britt, 3-ball. You know it.
Kiss off the window. Gotta love it.
Look at that bounce. DeAndre Pratt puts primetime back in front by a singleton. Caleb Hewitt had a hot third quarter. Hewitt, step back, fade away, no. Rebound Reynolds. Primetime looking to extend this lead. 20 seconds to go, and a foul called.
Take a
Reynolds
look
will
at
go to
that
the
foul
line.
as Reynolds just drove right down. No defender as he sped up at midcourt, throws it up, knew he was going to draw the foul, and he is winded.
Credit the foul to Mark St. Fort. That's his second foul. The free throw's coming here. Cornelius Reynolds out of Claflin University. Daytona Beach, Florida, misses the first free throw. It's been a mixed bag at the line tonight for Reynolds. Again, leading the ECBL in scoring at over 40 points a game. tonight has not hit that mark just yet. Still an impressive showing as he knocks down the second. No shot clock for the Hoyas. Here's Hewitt. Chris Moore out there to guard him 45 feet away from the basket. 9 and 8. They're attacking. They want to get the ball out of his hands. St. Fort gives it up. Jock Chambers stepped out of bounds. The three-pointer won't count. A turnover for the Hoyas. 3.3 to go in this third quarter. And PrimeTime will have the ball. They've got to go about 65 feet. Moore gets it in. 2 and 1. Gives it up. Shoots it. And that will not count as we have reached the end of the third quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, what a game we have here now. It is PrimeTime 85, Hickory 83. Don't you dare go away. The Fidelity Investments Money Quarter coming up next. This is the ECBL Game of the Week.
After 3, we got a 2-point game, 85-83. PrimeTime players with a 2-point lead enter the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter, but at halftime they're leading by 13. They got it tracked all the way back down, and the Hickory Hoyas took a 1-point lead, 81-80. And now the PrimeTime players lead 85-83. Petey Doors, Craig Green bringing the ECBL Game of the Week from Legion Collegiate Academy.
PrimeTime will inbound underneath their own basket with 94 feet to go. Kerrigan Farley looks like he's good to go. Back into the game. And an offensive foul called. A turnover, another turnover. This one's on Hanif Britt.
Britt continues to talk to the official coming down the court. Just 6 seconds off the clock in the fourth. 2-point advantage. Hickory with the chance to take the lead or tie it.
And
That's
there
what
it
they
is.
do. Nice little teardrop 15-footer.
Hodges has come alive. He's up to 15 points in this game. Hodges against Farley and a blocking foul on Hodges.
Tie game with 11:30 left.
Just a side out here. Substitutions coming into the game for the Hoyas. Chambers will re-enter.
Pretty
Farley.
sure that Coach Chris Thomas is going to keep the same rotation in unless the players get fatigued.
Moore
At
with
the
the
buzzer.
fadeaway. Got it. Chris Moore.
Right on that baseline. You give him room on the baseline, he's going to make you pay every time. Step back 3 from the corner. Nothing but nylon.
Look at Nylus Hodges knocking it down. He answers right away. And gives the Hoyas.
88-87.
It gives the Hoyas a 1-point lead. And just like that, here comes Isaiah Curitan getting it right back for the PrimeTime players. That's been the theme all night long, PD. Every time the Hoyas get a bucket and make things a little uncomfortable, the PrimeTime players go right back down the floor quickly and try to get the 2 points right back.
We got a final. Winston-Salem Wolves defeat the Philly Raiders 122-118. In a big matchup, that's Philly's second straight loss by less than 5 points. They lost last week against DC Heat by 1. Long 2 is off the heel of the iron. Kerrigan Farley tips it to Turner.
And just St. Fort down there for the Hoyas. Farley to Britt, and now Curitan Cross-court pass was deflected. It's going to stay here with PrimeTime. 13 on the shot clock.
10:27 left. 1-point game, 13 on the clock. Turner looking to come into play. Finds Pratt. Pratt trapping himself off in that corner, but kiss off the window and doesn't fall.
Well, Pratt had a mismatch. That time he was being guarded by Hewitt and then was able to make his way inside and then draw a foul. Looks like we have Jihad Wright back at the table. Some condensation on the floor that we're looking to dry up here. So 2 free throws coming here for DeAndre Pratt. Up to 13 points.
$15 points, unofficially makes it 16. $90-88, 10-19 mark in the fourth quarter. This is the second opportunity. Here come the Hoyas in transition. Straight to the cup, leaves it on the rim. Defender picks it up, and PrimeTime players.
St. Fort wanted a foul, is not going to get it. Pratt for 3, in and out. Rebound down to Brown. Here comes Hodges, forcing the action, making Pratt defend on his back heels, and he's going to draw another foul on Pratt. So under 10 minutes to go in this ball game, and it is airtight, 90-88.
And the PrimeTime players put a vacuum seal on the Hoyas. Send them away with an L. And stay on top in the division. Touches every part of the rim as it falls through. A little bit of love from the iron for Hodge. Second doesn't fall, but he hit iron.
PrimeTime looking to take advantage. What a block that time. Double team block by the Hoyas. Good pass inside. Hewitt trying to find Kaheem Brown down low, and they're going to say it was off of Brown, and a turnover for PrimeTime. But good defense by the Hoyas down low that time. Hodges and Jihad Wright blocking the shot.
9:37 left. 1-point game. PrimeTime players hand it off to the veteran, Chris Moore. Mismatch. Moore still hasn't put the ball on the floor. Puts it on the floor. Drops his elbow. Blocked.
Good defense that time by Hewitt. And then also St. Fort coming over to deny Chris Moore. Here comes the Hoyas. They don't have numbers. They're going to slow it up. Hodges off the glass and puts the Hoyas back in front.
And a nice penetration by Hodge.
And an offensive foul called. Establishing position down low was Brown.
We'll take a look.
Nine minutes to go in this game. The Hoyas on top by just a penny. Caleb Hewitt has been a catalyst in the second half, really in the third quarter. Farley out there guarding him way across from the basket. Hodges playing more confident. Got 7 and 6 on the shot clock. A step back, fade away. You know it. Nylus Hodges. What a shot. 94-90. And then an answer on the other end by Odell Turner. He knocks down a 3.
Two hot shooting perimeter teams battle it out from Legion Collegiate Academy with 8:22 left, 1-point game. You leave him alone. He'll try to seek another. It's Chris Moore.
He's shaking up a little bit. Maybe got an inadvertent chop hit to the chops there. Moore appears to be okay. 1-point lead for the visitors. Pratt forces up a three, rebounded by Wright. Here comes Hewitt, prancing, dancing. Can't get it to go. Push is called. It's going to be a foul on the Hoyas. It's going to be on St. Fort for pushing down Odell Turner. And looks like we have Reynolds coming back into the game.
Visitors lead by 1. 94-93. Pratt will have a seat. With 7:51 left.
Farley behind the back, trying to save the possession. Puritan nearly lost it. Moore, they've been playing tight defense on Chris Moore this second half. Moore can't get it to go off the backboard. Farley keeps it alive for the primetime players. That shot flat. And rebound to St. Fort. Hoyas with a chance to extend this lead here. Just over 7 to go in this fourth quarter. Brown off the glass, no. Offensive board right. Hands in their fingertips poking it away, and it's off of Jihad Wright out of bounds. It will belong to primetime.
Jihad Wright coming down the court. Frustrated with that possession.
Farley gives it up here to Turner, and now Farley been distributing the ball mostly tonight. Nearly stabbed away. 7 on the shot clock for Moore. He's looking. 5, 4 for Moore. 3 and 2. Reynolds has to hurry up, and he's fouled with 1 on the shot clock. Brown with the foul. And again, more free throws for Cornelius Reynolds. No stranger to the free throw line this game. Might want to put a mailbox on that free throw line. He's been there quite a lot tonight.
But that, waiting for some Hoya player, waiting for at least one more Hoya player. Get inside is Reynolds.
Reynolds makes the first.
We're tied at 94. Making both of that trip. Trying to get that accurate address.
23 points for Cornelius Reynolds.
20 below his season average of 43.
Fadeaway. That one was well off that time for Hodges. A 1-point lead for primetime, making a 3-point lead as Reynolds comes back down. He's up to 25.
Reynolds with a current 4-0 run.
Crustworthy back in the game. St. Fort looking to somewhere to go, was cut off. 10 on the shot clock for Worthy. Worthy loses the ball once again, 2 on nobody, and then a flush, that time by Reynolds. Timeout called by Jeff Johnson.
See what Jeff Johnson's going to call it. Draw up for his team as it's a 6-0 run. 99-94, 6:03 left. You're listening to watch an ECBL basketball presented by High Level Media. PD Doris and Craig Green courtside from Legion Collegiate Academy. Next week, Craig, we're back down to South Carolina as the Carolina Crusaders match up with Let It Fly Web Dogs from Greenville.
Yep, taking that trip down to Greenville, about 2 hours south of where we are right now. But I'm sure they will be rip-roaring and ready to go down there in Gville, ready to see their hometown Web Dogs take on their in-state rivals, the Carolina Crusaders.
PD Doris and Tony Barnett will be on the call next week.
The old ball coach. And the old ball coach, TB, Tony Barnett.
6:03 left, fourth quarter of action in week 1 of your ECBL Game of the Week. This is week 3 of the season. This is our first week covering the Game of the Week. Season number 2.
For the Hoyas, Chambers, Worthy, Wright, Falls, and Kaheem Brown. Brown with the ball.
Primetime players come out with Turner, Moore, Farley, Reynolds,
and Kierton. 6 on the shot clock. Another turnover this time. Worthy again turns it over. Worthy's had a hard time trying to dribble through traffic. He's turned it over several times trying that so far. Farley gives it up to Moore. 3 ball. Too strong. Looks like it's good every time it leaves his hand. Savion falls. Too strong. Rebound falls into the hands of Brown. Tipped up, no. Turner with the board. 2 chances for the Hoyas. They can't convert. Still down by 5 with 5 minutes left.
Turner wanting that 3, but pulls it to Reynolds.
And Wright called for the block on Reynolds.
5:01 left, 99-94.
Friendly reminder to all of you out there watching today, make sure you set your clocks forward 1 hour before you go to bed tonight. Spring forward, you're going to wake up, get an extra hour of sunlight tomorrow evening.
I think I'd rather have the sleep than the sunlight.
Tell you what, I mean, all of our phones are digital nowadays. Make sure you set your car and set your microwave. Otherwise, you're going to be hating life on Monday morning. When you find that you're an hour late,
hour late for work.
Timeout here on the floor. Both teams at the benches. So with 5 minutes to go, Petey, and a 5-point lead for primetime, you know, we talk about the resiliency of Chris Thomas and his team, and he knows what to do in these critical moments. So if you're Chris Thomas in the huddle, what are you calling up right now? What are you telling these guys?
Crash the boards. Don't give him multiple opportunities to score on offensive possessions, and slow down.
Meanwhile, for Hickory, they've seen it. They're able to hang with the primetime players. They had a lead, you know, right there at the 9-10 mark. They were leading by a single point, and now have let the primetime players walk them back down and reclaim the lead. But, you know, this final 5 minutes, you want to take the best shots you possibly can. If you're primetime, you need to box out as well and keep guys like Cornelius Reynolds away from the free throw line and from the rack as well, because he is an athletic guy who can stretch the floor. 5 minutes to go in this game. And again, a 5-point lead for the primetime players. The defending Southwest Division champions. And again, one of the dynasties of the East Coast Basketball League. One of the premier teams in minor league basketball, the primetime players. Reynolds, who early on couldn't find the stroke from the line, but now seems to find it, and the primetime players have cracked 100.
194, 5:01 left, and
now here come the Hickory Hoyas, down by 6, 2 possessions.
See what Coach Jeff Johnson drew up. That was a good crash. Bucket just doesn't fall. Primetime players cleared out on the rebound.
Good attempt by Brown, and Brown couldn't get it. Farley, he's got more. Inside, Kierton against 2 Hoyas, no. Rebound comes down to Jahad Wright. And now foul on Farley. Farley was holding Brown. Could be an easy call for our official. And 2 free throws coming now for Kaheem Brown. Kaheem Brown out of Brooklyn, New York. Played at Norfolk State. Lots of HBCU representation in the East Coast Basketball League. I mean, look at the Hickory Hoyas alone. You got Witherspoon and Glover and Hodges, all from Winston-Salem State and Johnson C. Smith, respectively.
A lot of talent in the ECBL this season.
Those 2 free throws were good. Inside, Turner, no, rebound to right. 4 minutes to go, down by 4. You can't get it all back on one shot. Oh, look at the sidestep to the bucket, and it's Caleb Hewitt once again.
Got a one-possession game as Cornelius Reynolds holds the ball with a belt-high dribble.
Chris Moore off the glass, got it to go, 102-98. Chris Moore having a really nice second half. That long-range shot, no good. Rebound to Reynolds. 3:20 to go, and now Reynolds has taken injury time out, maybe cramping up, and he is. He's trying to stretch himself out here. And playing a lot of minutes today. Good call by our officials, and we've got our physio staff out here to help out.
102-98, 3:22 left.
You know, talking to Chris Thomas earlier today, Petey, he knew he was going to be limited in his reserves. He said guys like Reynolds and Moore and Farley would get the minutes they wanted today, but sometimes it comes at a price where you start to feel the aches, the pains, the bumps, the bruises, and the pulled muscles, the cramps as well. So hopefully Reynolds can shake this off and come back into the game.
Pratt enters a game. Chris Moore, Jurgen Farley, along with Odell Turner.
Reynolds is really smarting. He's going to get some help over there from Britt and from head coach Chris Thomas. But 16 on the shot clock for prime time, and inbounding right in front of me is Pratt. (102-98), 3:22 to go in this ball game. And here we go. Farley sit in. Moore has it along the baseline. Farley, floater, short. Rebound to Chambers. 102-98. Fahim Brown got it to go this time. And now the Hoyas have cracked 100. 102-100. Fahim Brown knocks that down. Moore thought about the three, was in triple threat position. The scoop up, a little bit of the old man basketball there, but a push and a foul is going to go against Chambers.
Chambers just there in wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, he was going up for the rebound. Player was underneath of him. 2:43 left, 2-point game, 102-100. This is why we cover the ECBL Game of the Week right here. Greg, last year when we covered all 12, there weren't a game that didn't come down to the wire.
There wasn't not one game that wasn't exciting last year. I mean, we saw plenty of exciting games. We saw, you know, we saw the eventual ECBL champions upset in Winston-Salem. I mean, that was an incredible afternoon. I mean, some really good games. Even teams who were out of playoff contention, such as Kingdom Life and the Garden City Magic, that was an excellent game down there in Georgia last year.
Making both free throws, got a 2-point lead. Got a whistle as a player slid. Reset the game clock back to 2:43 and clean up some moisture on the court.
Yeah, definitely safety precautions here. Make sure everyone is able to play at their best. Don't want any injuries out here as a result of a wet floor. And action resumes. 2:40 to go in this game. Hoyas trail by 4. Hewitt. Brown. Hewitt again. 3-ball. Can't dial it up. Offensive board. Is it going to stay here, or who will the foul be on? No, it is. It's on primetime. You could tell St. Fort give a little fist bump, a little fist clutch there. Foul is on the primetime players. 2:28 to go. Only 4 points separate these two Southwest Division rivals. Both teams 2-0. Again, PrimeTime, this is their first home game of the season, winning 2 games on the road, 1 in Goldsboro, 1 in Greenville. And now to the line is Kaheem Brown. Brown up to 14 points so far, looking for 15 and 16 at this trip to the line.
Brown makes the first. If he would have missed, it would have been a lane violation on the PrimeTime players as Odell Turner stepped right in the lane, but he did make it, so.
Could be some gamesmanship there also to maybe distract Brown. And that second free throw too strong. Wright fighting for the board but can't get it. A 3-point game in the favor of the PrimeTime players. Chris Moore, they're really paying attention to him on the perimeter. He's getting no space at all.
Side step for the long two.
Long two by Odell Turner. 106-101 with 2 minutes to go in this game. Caleb Hewitt against Farley. Hewitt using that speed and gets to the bucket. 106-103.
1:50 left.
$15 points for Hewitt. Cureton, no. Gets his own board. Kicks it out. Pratt, 3-ball, no, too strong. 1.5 minutes to go. A 3-point game. Wright, off the glass, no. Offensive board, Sid puts it in. Savion falls. Timeout, PrimeTime players.
Kerrigan Farley saw what he saw and calls the timeout with 1:27 left. He had a 1-point game. PD Doors, Craig Green here inside Legion Collegiate Academy. Like we said, next week will be at Carolina Crusaders Let It Fly Web Dogs. Sunday at 3 o'clock from the Sterling Community Gym in Greenville, South Carolina. But Craig, don't want to get too far ahead of us. We got a game here, 1-point advantage. If you're Coach Chris Thomas of the PrimeTime players, who brings the ball up and who shoots the ball?
Farley's been the distributor for most of this game. You know, you can trust him or you can trust Chris Moore to handle the basketball up the floor, but they have versatile guys who can do more than one thing. So you know he's going to drop something they do best here. But again, in a 1-point contest, it's a single possession, a single point separates these two teams. So, and this is the wrong time for any kind of critical mistakes. But it is PrimeTime's ball coming out of the timeout after that layup was converted by Caleb Hewitt. And again, Hewitt in this game is up to 15 points. And here we go, 1:27 to go, and it will be Farley to bring up the ball, along with the help of Odell Turner. Moore with it now. Moore getting a screen from Turner. Moore, step back, 3-ball, too strong. Whose ball will it be? It will belong to PrimeTime. It was tipped off the hand of Falls.
Just 1:13 left, right in front of the Hoyas bench. PrimeTime will have the ball.
Pratt had his hand on it, but then from behind, Falls tapped it out of his hand from behind. So it will be PrimeTime ball. They reset the shot clock to 24. Got players lobbying with the referees here. I mean, there is no replay in the East Coast Basketball League, so whatever the call is final. Looks like things have been sorted out here. Hoyas really trying to sell the officials on that. It should be a turnover in their basketball. But from my vantage point, I saw Falls tip it out of the hands of Pratt from behind. And another stoppage of play. 6:22 on the shot clock as the ball was knocked out.
A lot of bench chatter over there for the Hoyas as the primetime players are inbounding right in front of the bench.
Pratt gets it in. Cureton, dribble penetrating, gives it up. Turner around the horn here to Moore. 1 minute to go. Moore finds it in the corner. Odell Turner, no. Offensive board. Cureton kicks it out. The wrong guy wide open. Chris Moore for three. No, too strong. Here come the Hoyas down by 1, and it's Caleb Hewitt. They just dodged a major bullet that time.
Multiple opportunities
Hewitt
by primetime.
gets the bounce around. No foul call. Ball's tapped away. It's still going to belong to primetime as Chris Moore harassed down low by St. Fort and Wright.
34 ticks left. 1 point game. Will you foul or do you just
Got to play it out here. You got plenty of time on the shot clock. 21 to go on the shot clock and 34.8 on the game clock. You don't have to foul at all if you're Hickory. You can play defense here. And Moore against the defense of Falls. 10 on the shot clock for primetime. Moore not ready to attack it. He's going to launch a long three. No, they dodge another bullet. 15 seconds to go. Will they play it out or call a timeout? Ball stabbed away from behind by Cureton. Brown didn't hear the footsteps. And now a timeout called by the Hoyas. They're going to talk it over here with 11.5 to go. It's their ball. They should be inbounding in the corner over there after the ball was smacked out of bounds by Cureton.
Not sure what the shot from Chris Moore was. It was a long three. It was almost a Steph Curry three from the perimeter with no one underneath the rebound.
Low percentage shot, but also trying to put the dagger in the heart of the Hoyas. And again, Chris Moore is a player that Chris Thomas trusts, in these situations. So not going to, probably won't give him too much of a hard time for taking that shot as the primetime players still nursing a 1 point lead with 11.5 to go. I mean, it's anybody's ball game. Anything can happen in this 11 seconds.
Primetime players come out with Cornelius Reynolds, along with Odell Turner, Chris Moore, Farley, and Cureton. Correction, Farley is not in the game. Thought he was. I thought he's over there defending inbounds pass, but out of
maybe
just on the bench.
It's something like we like to talk about in traffic. Maybe he's creating an onlooker distraction. Either way, it's going to be Hoyas ball underneath Primetime's basket. 11.5 to go. The ball's inbounds to Hewitt. 10 seconds, Hewitt. Hewitt looking around. He's got more on him. Hewitt dribbles, kicks it out, corner. Three ball. This time, Hodges too strong. Rebound comes down to Moore, to Pratt, and that is that. What a finish.
106 to 105. Craig, we don't want to take nothing for neither one of these teams here.
What a finish to this ball game. The Hoyas had their opportunities, could not cash in the final minute 27. They went scoreless in the final minute 27. They could not find the bucket to tie the game. And again, the primetime players survive here at home. They move on to 3-0, 2-0 on the road, 1-0 at home. The Hoyas drop to 2-1 on the season. Hard-fought victory for primetime and a tough luck loss for the Hickory Hoyas.
Jeff Johnson had a great play drawn up there. The bucket just didn't fall. I don't know if he necessarily needed a three at that time. You just need a bucket. You get the ball with 11 seconds to go and you dribble drive, use too much time off the clock, and you have to kick it to the corner and force up a shot that was defended by the primetime players. But I tell you, the big defensive stop right there at the end of the game was Chris Moore's defensive stop as he stepped up on Hodges and wouldn't let Hodges get any separation to get the ball off.
And defense, they say defense wins championships. It definitely can win you games in tight situations. And today, the primetime players got the stop they needed when they needed it, and they come away with the victory 106-105.
Next week, we're at Carolina Crusaders and Let It Fly Web Dogs next Sunday from Sterling Community Gymnasium in Greenville, South Carolina. We'll have the coverage starting at 2:40. Remember, like Craig said earlier, spring ahead, fall back. Lose an hour of sleep, gain an hour of daylight tomorrow. Don't forget. I know we're spoiled by our cell phones, and that's how most people keep their times. But if you got an old-fashioned alarm clock like I do sitting on my dresser, you got to set it ahead or you'll be late for work on Monday. It's a good thing they do it on a Saturday night going into Sunday morning instead of Sunday going into Monday, because then everybody would use that excuse, Craig.
Absolutely, I would. You know, it's I like to sleep as much as the next person. So, but I am also embracing that extra hour of sunlight. So that'll be something I'm really looking forward to. And what we're going over here, we do have some scores for you as well. We'll give you the leading scores from both teams. For the primetime players, they were led tonight by Cornelius Reynolds, 29 points. Unofficially, Chris Moore with 25 points. On the opposite side, for the Hickory Hoyas, they were led in scoring tonight by Nihilus Hodges with 24 points. Savion Falls had 19. Caleb Hewitt with 15, and Kaheem Brown also with 15. But again, they fell just 1 point short in this game tonight. And, you know, you got to give it up to Hickory. They played a really good second half. They walked it down. They went to the locker room down by 13, come out of the locker room fighting like gangbusters. But unfortunately for them, again, just 1 basket short.
After quarter number 1 is 32-25 primetime players. And then at halftime, like Craig said, they're up by 13, 67-54. But went on a run in the final 5.5 minutes, because at the 7:26 mark, it's 43-39 to close out the quarter. They went on a 24-15 run to close out quarter number 2. Quarter number 3 is all of the Hickory Hoyas. They outscored the primetime players in that quarter heavily. At the end of 3, it was 85-83. They tracked down a 13-point deficit. In the fourth quarter, we entered the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead, primetime players. We end with a 1-point win, primetime players, 106-105.
And even in the second half, they did outscore the primetime players 51-39. But coming up next week, again, next week's ECBL Game of the Week, the Carolina Crusaders taking on the Let It Fly Web Dogs. Sunday at 3 o'clock, they will be hosting that game from the Sterling Community Gym in beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. Petey Doris and the head ball coach, Tony Barnett, will bring you the call. So on behalf of High Level Media and the East Coast Basketball League, we want to thank the fans, coaches, and owners, along with the officials, for making this a memorable game. Our final score from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Legion Collegiate Academy, the primetime players 106, the Hickory Hoyas 105. Special thanks to my tag team partner, color commentator, Petey Doris, today's game day staff. I'm Craig Green, always saying, always remember peace, patience, confidence, and trust. Good things take time. Sayonara and buenos noches.
This broadcast is a production of the ECBL and High Level Media. It is a private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the ECBL and High Level Media is strictly prohibited.